I died, met Jesus twice, and his divine comedy? You won't believe what happened. Welcome to the realm of near-death experiences, where we explore what people encounter when they come close to dying. Our goal is to shed light on these experiences and offer fresh perspectives on life and death. Whether you're new to this topic or have been here before, we're thrilled to have you along for the ride. If you enjoy our content, consider subscribing to our channel to see more and help us reach more people by hitting the like button. So, sit tight, unwind, and let's dive into the mysteries beyond life. Today, we're diving into Victor's near-death experience. He'll share his encounter with what he believed were angels singing in heaven and paint a picture of what he witnessed there. Let's hear his story. I'm Victor Bamford. I had a close call with death when I was just 14 years old. My brother and I loved exploring the hills near our California home. One day, while tinkering with an old bike we'd pieced together, my brother asked me to test it down a steep hill. It was our prized possession, a mishmash of parts we cherished. As I sped down the hill, I tried to slow using the brakes, but they failed, and I found myself on the brink of disaster. There was no turning back. I was committed to navigating the sharp curve, gaining speed with every passing second. I barely had time to lean into the turn and keep control. Gravel scraped under my tires as I leaned deep into the curve and continued hurtling downhill. Trying the brakes again, the force almost threw me off the bike. I struggled to regain balance, tears streaming from the wind as I picked up even more speed. I weighed my options, realizing I was running out of ways to stop. With my velocity reaching unprecedented levels, I thought maybe the rock wall ahead could halt me. I know it sounds foolish, like something out of a cartoon, a doomed plan straight out of Wile E. Coyote's playbook. I never heard the crash or felt pain upon impact. The speed was overwhelming. Suddenly the wall was upon me, and everything went dark. I was engulfed in stark blackness, unaware of how long I lingered in that state. Ironically, the rock wall I collided with stood right in front of the volunteer fire station. No one was there to assist. The firefighters were away at their day jobs. As I dimmed into light, I sensed myself floating amidst the branches and leaves of the oak trees above. All was silent, the wind whispering through the foliage. It felt entirely natural to be liberated from my body. I harbored no inclination to witness my crumpled form amidst the bike wreckage. I couldn't help but feel sympathy for that injured boy. Yet this ethereal state felt like my rightful place in the universe, even if it meant never reuniting with my family again. Then there was something from above, a choir of angels. I couldn't contain my excitement. Their heavenly voices were so sweet and comforting that even now, when I hear a choir hitting just the right notes, tears well up in my eyes, recalling that moment of pure joy when I realized I must be gone, and the angels were beckoning me. Suddenly, I found myself in darkness again, but this time it felt different. Instead of being surrounded by darkness, I felt like I was moving upward in a tunnel. If I had looked up, I would have seen light at the end of it. Like an elevator, I emerged into a beautiful meadow, vibrant with life. It was serene and warm, as if God's presence was all around. The love emanating from this place overwhelmed me with comfort and warmth, like nothing I've ever felt before. Then I heard the singing again and followed the sound. Below the rolling meadow, I saw a massive crystalline structure. I longed to join in the chorus. The air was filled with the joyous sound of countless souls singing in harmony, praising the Lord. I felt a sense of loneliness, knowing I wasn't part of their joy. Yet, I could sense their deep connection and love for each other. Standing before the crystal monument with a heavy heart, I knew I might not belong. Then, a figure appeared beside me. We communicated without words, through some kind of telepathy. He spoke gently yet clearly in my mind, telling me I had to return. I felt crushed by his words. I pleaded, "Please don't make me go back. I want to stay here with you." These words came from a boy afraid of death, even with a Catholic upbringing. Suddenly, I was pulled back into my battered body with a loud noise. The The pain was excruciating. It felt like my head was splitting open from the impact. My knuckles were bleeding and raw, and every inch of me throbbed with agony from the crash. I had to drag myself away from the wrecked bike and stumble back up the hill. I felt like passing out and throwing up. My heart felt more broken than my body. Being kicked out of heaven felt like the ultimate shame. I kept that secret tucked deep inside, fearing my family would mock me for making up stories about dying and visiting heaven. Back then, near-death experiences weren't talked about, and I had never heard of such a thing. So I carried my secret burden until 1993, nearly 30 years after that awful incident. It wasn't until I read Dr. Melvin Morse's book, Closer to the Light: Learning from Near-Death Experiences of Children, that I realized others had similar experiences as kids. I wasn't completely alone, and maybe I wasn't crazy after all. Over the years, I dealt with some lingering effects from my injuries, terrible migraines that felt like strokes and plagued me for years, and uneven pupils due to the head injury. I never saw a doctor after the crash, adding to the shame of my heavenly visit and feeling deficient in character. Many people spend their lives searching for love, connection, and meaning. But life sometimes throws unexpected challenges our way. One of these challenges could be a near-death experience where someone comes close to dying. These experiences can leave people feeling adrift, questioning their beliefs and their purpose. Some who've had near-death experiences describe feeling empty and alone afterward. They wonder why they were brought back and what their role is in the grand scheme. For some, these experiences renew their faith or deepen their spirituality. They find solace in the belief that there's a bigger plan for their lives, even if they can't fully grasp it. Despite the hurdles, many hold onto hope for a brighter future. They believe they'll find peace and joy again someday, drawing strength from their faith and the support of others. Near-death experiences can be scary and bewildering, but they also offer valuable lessons about life and love. They remind us to treasure every moment and hold on to hope, no matter what challenges we face.